Tyler Kasak has these really nice counterattack options that kind of center around a 2-on-1. So let's take a look.
It's really got to be drilled.
He's got him on his back.
When we talk about a low ceiling,
Lightning fast.
So this first clip, we're just going to look at kind of how he is defending and countering, and then dropping back into legs. I think if he had his choice, he would probably do this option every time. But since guys react well, this one's not always available. So we're going to see guy attacks, starts to defend, and immediately is running angle to his right, which most people don't have a ton of time defending for whatever reason, maybe drill habits, whatever. And as he's running, here we just see a simple drag with his left hand and then anchored on the leg, and he might have even gone, yep, so he kind of goes 2-on-1 like arm hug, where he is, it's hard to tell, but this arm is over like it would be on a 2-on-1, and his other hand is going to be in drag position. So he's got two hands on the arm and then transitions his top hand to the leg while maintaining this drag and drops right in. And again, I think this is his this is kind of the first step in this series he does. It's like, if I can get to the leg right away or get that nice angle and drag right away, that's what I'm going to take. And then he works through his finish and scores. Same kind of idea here. Counters, goes two hands to the arm, drops into the guy's legs, and then works through his finish. I really like that direction change there to kind of sit the guy down. So, see a lot of similar things here. Defends. Again, we see immediately this near hand hooks over top, kind of around the elbow or bicep, just like you would on a 2-on-1 or Russian tie. Other hand comes inside like the last clip. So he's looking kind of drag with this arm. And here I'm not sure if it was on purpose or not, but that top hand is between the legs. And it looks like he kind of reaches for the far leg, which I think there is a world where you can reach for that far leg, kind of like ankle pick or turn into high crotch. But he's at a really weird angle to do that right now. So he ends up pulling his arm back out and attacking that near leg. And again, other hand is on drag, which again, I think if he has his choice, that's what he would probably prefer. Gets him to the leg quicker, and he can look for his finish. Really like the uppercut trip finish. Really like this direction change. We'll take it. I know this isn't the focus, but I like it, so we're going to look at it. So he goes from his uppercut trip to hand over top of the knee, and then is going to try to straighten his leg, put a bunch of weight on his foot, and kind of make the guy sit this direction. So he takes a step in front, and then uses his hand and even his head to off balance this guy where there's no post. Great reaction by Waters not to go all the way to his butt, gets his foot underneath him, and is able to continue wrestling. But eventually, Kasak does get the finish. Here's just a quick look at kind of what he's going to transition to, a couple other things he does. Doesn't score this one, but there's definitely some things to look at here. Again, guy attacks, and sometimes guys like to counter with momentum. So some guys would end up going, whereas this guy attacks this way, Kasak would run back around with their momentum, but instead he almost always goes back to that right side. Again, hand over top. Other hand gets behind the arm this time. Sometimes he reaches for that leg, which we see here. He's reaching and missing. So instead, he's going to transition right back to this wrist, and now this is where we see him start to transition to his 2-on-1 type stuff. So he gets that 2-on-1. We see where he's got full control there. And then looks to go right back to the leg. Guy defends, comes up to the body, but we get to see how he will transition from his kind of quick attack option back into a 2-on-1. Here we're going to get to really see him control his 2-on-1. Gets it the same way off a counter. And then puts pressure, controlling that arm, kind of straightening it. And he'll go like key lock and then back to the guy's leg with a really nice finish back in front. So again, goes toward the side. The guy attacked, or just because he likes a 2-on-1, kind of uncertain. Top hand above the elbow, kind of in the armpit. Other hand, we see it initially go drag like before. And then as the guy starts to square back up to his feet, he kind of realizes he's not going to be able to get anything and will release the drag hand, go to wrist control, and then look to pressure with his 2-on-1. All right, here we see he'll transition to the key lock where he grabs his own wrist. So his top hand grabs his own wrist while his other hand grabs his opponent's wrist. And continues to circle, trying to get close enough to look for an attack. And then right about here, we're going to see him do a quick key lock to kind of, it was called a shovel when I was taught it, where you basically drag this arm down in a way to kind of like shuck him by. And instead of get him to the mat, he transitions his inside hand to the leg and then goes head to knee, like low single type finish, circles in front for his finish. Here's another nice option. Gets to that 2-on-1, comes up and transitions to like an inside trip back to a single leg. Same way, defends. Hands go to the arm, probably looks drag first. And we see him miss the leg with his top hand. So he comes right back up, still has the drag hand on, transitions right back up, high on the guy's arm. And then instead of rotating to 2-on-1, he's going to make it more of an over-under position. We see his drag hand come across to like an underhook. And if this guy squared up more, this was going to be beautiful. But he stays a little sideways. We see this inside trip foot coming in. Does enough to block the guy's leg so that he can drop into a single leg and then work through his finish. This option is sick. So it starts the same. Looking for that same type of go behind or transition in 2-on-1 where this hand's over top. Other hand might drag or go 2-on-1. But here, this guy stops him from doing either by getting his hand up and in the way in between their bodies. So he kind of loses those options we've looked at previously. So after he blocks, and we can even see where Kasak's hand has come through looking for those drag options. So as this guy recovers, he said, fine, I'll give you the feet to back option, and just rips him in a headlock with that drag hand. I mean, there's just all kinds of space over here to take the guy into. Good job getting his hip engaged a little bit there. And then just domes him up. Feels bad, but nice option.